So we'll move on to our next speakers. So we've got two presenters coming up here. So we have Payman Sadi, and we also have Matt Bolding from Ducks Unlimited. So they're going to be talking about European water chestnut. So if you're both ready to get going, I think we're good to go, right on schedule here.
I'm going to share my screen. Can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yep, looks great. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm pleased to be here alongside Matthew Bolding from Ducks Unlimited Canada. And we are here to present our recent collaboration between Ducks Unlimited Canada and SIWA on the automatic detection of European water chestnut from drone imaging. Matthew will discuss the project's significance first, and then I will follow with presenting the technical aspect of the work. Matthew, over to you.
Thanks, Payman. So I'm just going to give a quick introduction of European water chestnut for those of you who aren't familiar with it. This is a floating aquatic invasive that forms these really distinct rosettes, like you can see in the sort of inset images here. European water chestnut ticks all those standard boxes for an aggressive invasive plant. The larger image, you can see a big infestation in the Erie Canal. It spreads really fast. It blocks light penetration under the water, chokes out native plants, is really bad for waterfowl, for fish, and other wildlife. And it also produces these gnarly chestnuts, these little seeds that actually are kind of a hazard if in shallow water and they're there. And this is definitely a species of concern in Ontario. Water chestnut was originally, like a lot of invasives, introduced to North America as an ornamental plant way back in the 1800s in the US, and sort of creeped its way north slowly until I think it was observed in Ontario in around 2006. If you could jump to the next slide. Thanks, Payman. So management for water chestnut is kind of, again, sort of standard. You can do herbicide or you can get out on the water and pull it manually. But either way, you need to do that sort of monitoring and surveillance to find populations and track the efficacy of your management efforts. And so Ducks has been involved in management in a number of places in Ontario. But as the technology has become accessible, we've begun to use drones to do that surveillance and monitoring. Like right now, we've been able to fly drones over an area where there is chestnut, like the picture on the right, and kind of delineate areas for our on the ground or on the water management team to go and pull chestnut, but they still have to work their way around and find those individual plants. Which brings us to this tool that is being developed with SIWA. And I will pass it off to you, Payman, to get into the awesome details of this tool.
Thank you very much, Matt. Okay, as Matt said, Ducks Unlimited Canada specialists go out with their drones and collect drone images over vast areas to identify invasive species. The collected images then need to be inspected, and the scattered and the very small and tiny European water chestnuts should be detected in these parts. Even though the field work is very fun and interesting, this part of the job can be very tedious. Every trip, around 1,500 images per day will be collected, similar to this image that you can see here. So if you consider only 2 minutes per image for analysis of the data, then it takes 50 hours for analysis of the data of 1 day. So the question is there any way to automate this tedious part of the work or not? That's the part that SIWA comes in help with automation of detection. At SIWA, we develop all essential tools for fast and easy integration of data-driven solutions for small and medium-sized companies, or for institutes such as Ducks Unlimited Canada that don't want to deviate from their main mission. Basically, we have identified two major challenges for companies that want to be beneficiary of advantages of AI services. If they outsource the customized solution, the solution can be effective, but it can be very expensive. And if they want to develop it in-house, then they need to have develop all these capabilities in terms of the expertise that they need to develop. Cyber, since it is the owner of several problem-specific solutions, allows our team to provide affordable and effective AI-based solutions. In a couple of slides, I would like to walk you through the steps of the project, such as the one that we are talking about today. Generally, we go through 6 steps. Step 1 is data collection, that basically Ducks Unlimited Canada shared their drone images of July 19th to July 22nd of 2022 with us, collectively around 4,500 images. That was for the initiation of the project, and after that we need to work on these images. The first part is basically some pre-processing on the data. The size of the data is usually, the images is very large, so we should split them to the manageable sizes that computationally handleable by our code. In the third step, an expert is needed to label the image. In this process, on Cyber platform, we determine what region of an image includes the species of interest. This is the regions that code will look into that and will learn from the features that are in that specific part. So you can see here that the process of making a polygon around each of these European water chestnuts that are appearing in the image and labeling them, initiated with our colleagues at Ducks Unlimited Canada, and then we took over and continued. In the next step, we need to find the appropriate model of our neural network. A model or algorithm can determine the patterns that are embedded in an image. There are so many different architectures of deep learning models, and one of the advantages of our team is that we have a rich pool of these models, and we also the corresponding patterns that each of them can identify. Therefore, we can distinguish which model is appropriate for the project. After choosing the appropriate architecture of the model, we train the model, meaning that we pass the labeled images to the network to learn from them. We provide our models with the data that was generated on July 19th. And in this way, the model learns from the labeled data and what are the patterns that we are interested in. After learning, we need to test our model for unseen images, and the unseen images in our case was the data that was collected from 20th to 22nd. And the model was able to detect 95% of the European water chestnuts correctly and 5% false positives and false negatives. Here is a snapshot of the first version of European water chestnut software capable of detecting the European water chestnuts with the rate of 5 images per second with accuracy of 95%. However, in practice, we learned that there are some obstacles in the way of having a high precision of this detection. Here you can see 3 drone images from water chestnut from 3 different drone heights, the same drone, but different elevation of the drone. You can see that the way that water chestnut appears in each of these is even difficult for an expert to identify them. One solution is to develop protocols of data collections that our colleagues at Ducks Unlimited Canada developed those. But we admit that it's not always possible to follow the exact protocols. The other challenge there is alteration of environmental features such as water, tree, plants, a reflection of sun. You can see reflection of clouds here, and then saturation of the image because of the sun, presence of the sun. And all these things are the type of obstacles that reduces the chance of generalizing the solution. So basically, overall change of landscape, climate, altitude of drone flight increases the probability of mistake, which to address these issues, our solution was twofold. One was that we invited different groups to share their drone images with us to expose our model to more scenarios to increase the generalizability of the model. Also, we implemented a feature known as incremental learning in the software that makes the learning procedure continuous. In this process, we have initially here the drone data that goes to a model, and then detection happens. Sometimes it is correct, sometimes it's wrong. In the process of incremental learning, we embed some modules in the code that can learn from wrong detections, false positive and false negatives, and therefore gradually the model becomes smarter. There are other features that we added to the second version of the code that I will walk you through those as well. So here is a short video of that shows the workflow of the detection of the European water chestnut on our platform. First of all, what we considered was that we made this platform expandable, meaning that other invasive species can add to the library here. Also, this platform can work both online and offline. One person can initiate a new session simply. The user is allowed to change the threshold of confidence. Upload of image can happen by clicking and guiding towards the folder. Then it is possible to observe the drone image on Google Map for basically seeing where we are in each image. Also, this works with both orthomosaic and individual images. The process of detection can happen by clicking a button. Images will upload and it is processed. So after detection, it is possible to view and observe the detected species. One by one, an expert can go through them and verify the accuracy of detection. In case that there is any false positive, such as the one that you see here, by simply the expert can let the code know. And also it is possible to scan the code. Therefore, if there is any false negative, one can identify those by putting a polygon around that. Now, it is possible that if there are some mistakes, retrain the model. The rate of accuracy is around 95%, but that 5% can be relearned by the model, therefore gradually becomes smarter. The output is in the format that is compatible with ArcGIS. Therefore, the coordinates of all detected species can be listed in a way that can input to ArcGIS as well. Multiple users can use this platform at the same time. One admin, but so many users. And also admin has access to the computational cost of the calculations. So overall, we have a platform that is extendable for multiple species, works both online and offline. easy upload of images, observe drone images on Google Map View, easy initiation of detection process, visualization of the results, review of the results, easy marking of false positives and false negatives can happen on this platform, easy activation of retraining process, global coordinate generation compatible with ArcGIS, multiple user platform, and also track of computational cost. Next step, this summer we will be field testing the tool with our management on Wolf Island. We will fly the target areas, process the imagery through the tool, and put the output coordinates onto the contractor's GPS. This way we save on survey time, and we can gauge the success rate of the model. So far, this has been what has been accomplished, but potentially we can expand it to other invasive species of interest. We can also do the identification of dominant vegetation communities and mapping of those. It is also possible to extend and expand the detection to wild animals and objects if it is interest of anyone. At the end, on behalf of SciWA team, I would like to thank Ducks Unlimited Canada for their friendly approach and share of knowledge, and also Green Shovel's collaboration for financial support of this project. And thank you for your attention. If there is any question, I would be happy to answer.
Thank you so much. What a great presentation. It's really great. This session is, a lot to do with a lot of the projects going on